Why do I feel a Menhera episode coming on? Why am I getting Menhera, chat? Do you ever feel that? Where you're like, you feel like a bad mood surfacing and you're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? I'm fine. What the fuck is going on? You ever get that? Feeling okay? Yeah, sometimes you're frustrated. Is it I'm frustrated? I'm getting frustrated by the Lego pieces? And it's making me upset? Is this brain damage? I don't feel frustrated. But maybe I feel the frustration coming on. I'm predicting my frustration instead of being frustrated already. For me to sign up, I have to take my meds. Eat a Snickers. You're probably a little frustrated. It's like enough to filter it. Like I feel like the urge to talk about specific things, and it's like, why do I want to talk about Menhera shit? Oh my god. Is this what having a filter's like? Is this what having a filter's like? Oh my god. Talk about it? No, I don't want to talk about it. Because it's just annoying and it'll disrupt like the flow of stream. I'm becoming sentient. I'm becoming sentient. Pippa's filter came in today. Whoa. You're evolving. I'm evolving, chat! What the fuck? The Pippa filter has been unlocked. Oh. What do you think, Loris? Fishman one step closer to his perfect idol. I think it's a little bit too late for that. I don't know. I think even if I cleaned up my act now and did develop a filter, we're a little bit past that point where there's already enough of a catalog out there of like everything I've ever said or done wrong. And there's just so much of it. I think I'm what they would call damaged goods. When you... Does it matter? I don't think it really matters. I'm doing pretty fine for myself. And if Fishman ever has an issue, why are these studs not lined up? Does that matter? No, I don't think it matters. I think if Fishman ever has an issue with the reputation I have, he could just graduate me, and he'd be like, oh well, I'm not associated with that anymore. But he hasn't, and I don't think he's going to anytime soon. So I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine, Chief. We would turn him into sushi. I wouldn't fault them for it. I don't think that's something to hate Fishman over. Like eventually, I think if Face Connect got to the point where it's like we had like a shit ton of opportunity and stuff that we're missing out on because my reputation is so bad, like I would not fault him at all for cutting off the problem child. Don't guess anything, Noise. No doom posting. Everyone likes you. Ignore haters. I think I'm in a fine spot. Sometimes when I start to get like that, I just remember that if iDubbbz can pivot, like I would never want to pivot like iDubbbz did, but if iDubbbz can have like a good reputation and Filthy Frank can have a good reputation, iDubbbz like disavowed his old audience. I don't want to do that. But Filthy Frank never like disavowed anyone or anything. If they can be successful and have... Maybe iDubbbz wasn't a good comparison. We'll stick to like Filthy Frank. I snapped this on and it was upside down. Fuck. God damn it, son of a bitch. Ah! The more I try to snap the pieces on, the more the other pieces pop off. Yeah, iDubbbz bad comparison. If Filthy Frank can have a fine reputation after everything, I think I should be fine. I think it's just brainworms. I think I'm getting brainworms again. I just don't want to be an inconvenience to other people. But pieces keep popping off, and I'm gonna forget where they go. I think you overthink your rabbit. People will matter like you. Yeah. I get too caught up in thinking bigger, but life is fine. Why am I even thinking about anything else? You know? Why am I even thinking about anything else? I make plenty. I make more than enough to live off of. Management does not seem to hate me, and I have many wonderful friends. So why am I even concerning myself? You know? Why am I even concerned? Why? I feel like it's just like human nature, I guess, to be like, oh, but like here's what I can't have potentially, but I have enough, you know? So why am I even thinking about that? Ah. You know? I have an audience that I enjoy, even if sometimes you guys are a pain in the ass. I don't know. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm getting paid to do it, and getting paid enough to survive. So why am I even thinking about anything else? Things will always be like, well, what if? And you'll always be like, well, I wouldn't have these problems that I have if. But then you just have other problems, you know? No matter what you do in life, you're always gonna have problems. You're always gonna think the grass is greener on the other side because you can't see over the fence, you know? So you don't know. You don't know. The grass looks greener, but you don't know how it would be to maintain it and stuff, so. You know what I mean? So you overthink and you think, what if? And it's bad. It's bad. It's not bad to want to grow, and it's not bad to want to aspire and to continue considering all the options you have. I don't know. Sometimes I get caught up thinking about, like, if I had just been like a streamer that does like more safe, conventional stuff, you know? If I hadn't engaged so much with the things I had engaged with. But yeah, then that wouldn't be me. And I don't know why I get stuck even thinking about shit like that. Because I remember I did kids content once, which is kind of like of the same vein, right? And I was so miserable doing it. I was so miserable. So why do I continue to look at that and be like, oh, but what if? I don't know. Human nature, I guess. Human nature to want what you can't have and to think what if. And maybe part of it is because I failed to do it. That's what makes me yearn more for it. FOMO? Mind wants to stay busy. Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Mind just wants to stay busy. There's a sick irony to content creation, or to I think probably like doing what you've always wanted to do for a living, where it's like you get to do what you've always wanted to do. But because you're doing what you've always wanted to do, you end up having to like compromise on like little parts to get there. And then you start to think, is this what I wanted to do? Like, how do I explain this? How do I explain this? In order to do what you've always wanted to do, you compromise with bits and pieces, you know? Because there's no way that you're gonna be successful doing exactly what you want to do, right? Unless it's like 1 in a million luck. But then when you make those little compromises, even if you enjoy the path you take more, you still think about what you wanted to do originally, even though it's all the same thing at the end of the day. And you think about those little times that you compromise, and it's like this pursuit of perhaps is the best way I can describe it. I think a lot of people experience this with like, I don't know, you get what you want as a content creator. You meet your goals and you do the things you wanted to do. And then you just end up wanting more anyways. Because your goals shift. Because you can just never stop having goals. And it's, I don't know, it's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know how to describe it. You just keep, it's, maybe one of the things with content creation is like, you don't have anything really tangible to look at, right? You might get like a play button or whatever, but I mean, I got a play button. It doesn't really feel real to me. Like it just feels like a plaque. I completely understand now why PewDiePie gave his away. Like, when I didn't have a plaque, it's like I need a plaque to validate that I've done something, right? To validate my goals. That's my goal. That's my proof of my existence. But then you actually get it, and it's like, well, on to the next thing. It feels kind of like dickish to be like, oh, I'm suffering from success. But it's kind of like, what do you do when you meet your goals? You know? You just have to make new ones in order to keep going and feel like you're continuing to fight for something. It makes me wonder, like, I think it makes me empathize more with like people who retire, right? You guys ever see like people that retire and they're like, they retire for like a fucking year and then they're like, never mind, I want to go back to work. I think that's like just what it is, you know? I think it's just, you're not meant to be complacent, you know? I dropped the piece and I can't fucking find it! If anything, this is like a tamed or toned down version of what I always wanted to do, you know? I always wanted to be like my older internet heroes, you know? And yet now I'm kind of like edgy and stuff, like how I always wanted to be when I thought I couldn't be. And now I'm like, well, if I had been like toned down and stuff, then here's what I'm doing, by the way. Then here's these other things that I could have done. You know, it's so weird. It's so weird. Restraint is not always a bad thing. You're barely edgy. I don't feel edgy. I really don't feel edgy. But I'm edgy by the standards of VTuber, which really doesn't take much. It's really weird with VTubers, because it's like I say like the most fucking, in my opinion, like benign shit, and people are like, no, that's you're endorsing X political thing, and it's like, no, I was just making a joke. I don't actually care. It was a joke. The funny part is the absurdity of it, of a pink rabbit saying something batshit insane, or the absurdity of comparing this and that, or whatever the fuck, you know? are like, oh no, don't make like that reference. But for some reason, I don't know. I think it's just like the times, you know? It doesn't take much to be edgy anymore. It really doesn't take much to be edgy anymore. And there's like this weird like cognitive dissonance where it's like fine when a TV show does it, but if I make like this, if I like repeat a joke verbatim from Family Guy or whatever, when I say it, it's like, oh fuck, like that's horrible. How could you say that? But when Family Guy says it, it's like, oh yeah, it's just like it's just satire. It's just funny. I don't know. Not as much as Tenma though. Yeah, I think ironically Tenma says a lot crazier shit than I do. I don't know. But somehow I've become the Alex Jones rabbit. I don't even think Alex Jones is that edgy. Is my perception warped? People say like Alex Jones and Joe Rogan are like fucking. That's the end of the alt-right pipeline or whatever the fuck. And it's like, do you guys ever actually like watch them? I guess Alex Jones says some like more extreme shit, but it wasn't that often. I don't know. It wasn't that extreme. Joe Rogan is completely tame. I don't understand people saying Joe Rogan is edgy at all. Cause that man is so tame. His shit is so fucking tame, dude. Like, what do you mean Joe Rogan? What do you mean Joe Rogan is hyper political extremist? Man says and does like nothing. Edgy like a butter knife? Yeah, Joe Rogan is edgy like a butter knife. What is other character thing in voice? People listen too much to what journals say on Twitter? I don't know. Validation is nice and stuff, but I'm not saying these things hoping that you guys will like tell me, oh no, Pippa, don't worry about it. Or, oh no, Pippa, you're perfect the way you are. Ooh. It's more like just voicing stuff, you know? Just explaining my thoughts. Where the fuck is this piece? You ate it, didn't you? I regret to inform you guys, I ate the Lego piece.
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell.